Hello and welcome to News Hour on Unity TV. Today is Wednesday, 16th of August 2023 and it's equivalent to 29th of Muharram 1445 after Hijrah. The headlines. We will maintain petrol price without subsidy reversal, says Tinubu. Aviation security workers embark on nationwide strike Wednesday. Bandits attack Plateau school, kill teachers, injured others. And on the foreign scene, West Africa military chiefs to discuss Niger crisis this week. And in sports, Spain beats Sweden, reach first women's World Cup final. And those were the headlines. And for details and more of the stories, I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Tuesday said that the government will take measures to maintain the current pump price of premium motor spirit, PMS, in the country without a reversal of its policy on subsidy removal. The president also said that the threat by the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC to shut down the economy over a rumored plan to increase the fuel price was premature and said it was incumbent on all stakeholders to maintain their peace. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Shirin Matasa, disclosed briefing while briefing State House correspondents at the presidential villa, Abuja. The media briefing was after the president's spokesman had met with the president on the issue, following the threat by the NLC to go on strike without notice if the fuel price is increased again. He said it is incumbent on all stakeholders to hold their peace and endeavor to do due diligence to ascertain the true position. All marketers on Tuesday advised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to gradually relax the removal of subsidy on premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, following the inability of importers to access the United States dollars and the impact which this was having on businesses. This came as Tinubu ruled out fuel price hike and reversal of fuel subsidy. However, the Secretary Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ibman Abuja Suleja Muhammad Suleim Shuaibu, encouraged the president to learn from Kenya, stressing that the African country had to return subsidy on petrol to curb the devastating impact which its removal had on Kenyans. Shuaibu argued that despite the fact that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited announced earlier on Tuesday that it had no intention of increasing petrol price, the cost of the commodity will rise above its current 617 naira per litre in weeks if the exchange rate continues to increase. Some dealers had said subsidy on petrol would gradually creep in should the NNPCL continue to sell at 617 naira per litre, particularly if the rise in forex rate persists. The National Public Relations Officer, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Chief Chinedu Ukadike, said the outright removal of subsidy will cause severe hardship. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has praised the solidarity of the Economic Community of Central African States, ECCAS, on the political impasse in the Republic of Niger. The president spoke when he received the special envoy of President Ali Bongo Ondimba and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Gabon, Mr. Harman Amon Gold, at the State House in Abuja on Tuesday. According to the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Adjure Ngelale, the special message of support and solidarity from President Bongo, who doubles as the chairman of ECCAS, expressed full support for the resolutions by ECOWAS on the constitutional takeover of government in Niger. Tinubu added that the support of ECCAS proved once more that military interference in democratic governance is not acceptable anywhere and certainly no longer so on the African continent. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Tuesday night said that the tragic loss of gallant officers and soldiers in a helicopter crash at Chukuba village near Shiroro, Niger State on Monday brought immense sadness to him. The president said the officers and men were answering the call of duty while on an evacuation mission but paid the ultimate price in their dedicated service to their beloved country. He said they will forever be remembered not just as servicemen but as national heroes who gave their all for the peace and security of the country. While praying Lord to grant them eternal rest, President Tinubu, in the statement he personally signed, further extended his condolences to their families, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, and the entire armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The National Union of Air Transport Employees have directed the aviation security and logistics subsector to proceed on an immediate strike from Wednesday, August 16, 2023, following poor wages. This was contained in a circular sent to the Director General of Civil Aviation, Managing Director of Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, the Commissioner of Police, Airports Command, the Airport Commandant, Director Department of State Security, Murtala Muhammad International Airport Lagos Command. The circular, which was signed by the General Secretary of NUATE, Comrade Ocheme Abba, lamented that AVSEC graduates are paid a meager sum of 30,000 naira monthly. He added that all efforts to negotiate improved wages for their members in the past proved abortive. The federal government may sell stakes in about 20 state-run companies to raise funds and improve governance in the entities. This is according to a Bloomberg report. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation is among the firms the government may sell a stake in, according to the Chief Executive Officer at the Ministry of Finance, Incorporated, Armstrong Takang. He stated that the agency is considering options including strategic sales and initial public offerings and aims to implement the plan within 18 months. He noted that some of the entities need the private sector to take control in shares, and a major consideration for the government is to create value rather than retain control. Deal says may coincide with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's plan to reform the country's economy. Takang stated that the agency is in the process of appointing consultants, including valuers, financial advisors, lawyers, bankers, and others to handle different aspects of the transactions. In October 2022, sources at the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning exclusively told newsmen that the government was considering selling or concessioning about 27 national assets. The assets include Tafa Balewa Square in Lagos, the National Integrated Power Project in Olorunsogun, Calabar 2, Benin located at Ihobo, Omotosho 2, Jagu 2 plants, all the hydropower plants across the country including Oyan, Lower Usuma, Katsina Ala and Giri plants. The sources noted that more than 25 of such projects will be turned into active assets that will generate money in some ways to the federal government. Bandits have attacked a secondary school in the Riam local government area of Plateau State and killed 2 teachers. It was learned that the victims were a newly married couple who were teaching at the BECO Comprehensive Secondary School in the Akwai community of the local government. Eyewitnesses said the incident happened on Monday after when the teachers were holding a meeting to compile results of students ahead of the school's speech and prize-giving day coming up on Friday. A youth leader in the community, Moses God, who confirmed the killings to newsmen in Jos on Tuesday, said that the bandits also wounded other teachers, including the vice principal of the school. The police public relations officer in the state, Alfred Alabo, could not be reached for comment as at the time of filing this report. Armed bandits earlier hours of Tuesday invaded Jombak Old Town under the Maradu local government area of Zamfara State and kidnapped an unspecified number of people. A resident of the town, Ahmad Jambako, and the assailants attacked the community late in the night when residents were already asleep. He said the bandits attacked the community silently from every entry point without firing a gunshot, looting shops, and cutting away food items and other necessities. According to him, an unspecified number of residents, mostly women and children, were forcefully taken away by the bandits. Police authorities in the state were yet to comment on the latest attack as at the time of filing this report. And on the foreign scene, military chiefs from the West African bloc ECOWAS will meet in Ghana this week to discuss possible intervention in Niger military and political sources in the region, said yesterday. This came on a day human rights activists in Niger said they had been unable to gain access to top political officials who were detained after the coup nearly 3 weeks ago. This is even as U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said there was still space for diplomacy to reverse the coup in Niger and lauded President Bola Tinubu for his leadership on the crisis in Niger. The meeting on Thursday and Friday, originally scheduled for last weekend but postponed, came after ECOWAS leaders last week approved deployment of a standby force to restore constitutional order in Niger, which President was toppled on July 26. Their summit held in the Nigerian capital Abuja last Thursday also reaffirmed the bloc's preference for a diplomatic outcome. And in sports, Olga Carmona's stunning last strike gave Spain a 2-1 win over Sweden on Tuesday to propel them into the Women's World Cup final for the first time in their history. Spain's training victory at Eden Park set up a showdown in Sydney on Sunday with either Australia or England, who met in the other semi-final on Wednesday. The semi-final in Auckland seemed to be drifting toward extra time before suddenly bursting to life when substitute Salma Paraluelo put Spain ahead with the 9 minutes left. Rebecca Blomqvist equalized for Sweden in the 88th minute, only for fullback Carmona, Spain's captain, to score with a superb shot in off the underside of the crossbar from the edge of the box. And with the sport news, we've come to the end of our bulletin for today. You can follow us on our social media handles at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at 20 Radio FM TV respectively. You can also watch us live on the satellite decoder Badarsat, which has been watched in about 38 countries of the world free. You can also follow and engage with us on our social media handles at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can also watch us live on our YouTube channel at Unity FM TV. I am Rukayet Sani Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs. To have yourself a lovely day.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was saying things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no.